Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I'm going to do question number 2 from the June 2024 Regents exam. It's a inequality word problem. I just created a video on basically how to take word problems, and there were 3 rules that I gave, and I'm going to use those 3 rules to show you how they came up with this system of inequality. So first thing I want to do is I want to go back and I want to look at the rules just to refresh you. Very first rule, every number and every variable has to have a unit of measurement. Has to be feet, miles, miles per second. It has to have a unit of measurement. Everything, numbers and variables both have to have unit of measurements. Second thing, you can only add or subtract items that have the same unit of measurement. That's an intuitive idea that we have when we are in the first, second, third grade, but somewhere along the way when we are doing word problems, we forget that. But that's an idea that you gotta use. You can only add or subtract things that have the same unit of measurement. So that means it's important to find the unit of measurements for each item. Last thing, when you're dealing with word problems and you're trying to set up an equation, that means that the numbers on the left-hand side of the equation have to equal the numbers on the right-hand side of the equation. And now this is the part a lot of people don't get. The unit of measurement on the left-hand side of the equation has to be equal to the unit of measurement on the right-hand side of the equation. Now, they may not look like it, but when you simplify the unit of measurements, they should equal what's on the right-hand side or vice versa. So the unit of measurements also have to match. A lot of people don't use that idea. Now, I'm going to use those 3 ideas when I'm doing this problem. Okay, first thing, I'm going to read it, and I'm going to make this inequality word problem into an equation just to show you how you come up with these systems of equations, okay? So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this word at most. That's what makes it an inequality. And this word right here, or these words right here, at least. So once I get rid of those 2 or those 4 words, now we're dealing with an equation, not an inequality. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to kind of go through it. It says a tour bus can seat 48 passengers. An adult ticket costs $18. A child ticket costs $12. The bus company must collect $650 to make a profit. If A represents the number of adult tickets sold and C represents the number of children tickets sold, which system of equations models this situation if they make a profit? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how they came up with these. Okay, it's everything has A plus C 48, 18 A plus 12C 650. I'm going to show you how they came up with those. All right, so let me get rid of that. So very first thing, one more thing I got to do here. It's very minimal thing, but I want to make sure this is clear. So we're going to go and we're going to look for units. But the very first thing I need to do is I'm going to make this passengers, which would be the units, I'm going to make that into tickets. And later on, you'll see why I'm doing that. So instead of saying 48 passengers, the unit is passengers, it's going to be tickets. And the reason I'm doing that is because each passenger has to have a ticket in order to get on the bus. So basically passengers and tickets are the same thing in this case. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go through every number, every variable has to have units. So let's identify it. So this one, it's tickets. It's 48 tickets. Now this right here, it says an adult ticket costs $18. So we got $18. So 18, the unit is tickets. Now, one thing you should be aware of, even though it says an adult, that's the same thing as saying one adult ticket, right? So and is the same thing as one. So in that case, that means the unit of measurement would be tickets. And then same thing for this. Instead of saying a child, we can say one child. And so the unit would be tickets or children's tickets. And then we got the children's tickets cost $12. So this number, the unit of measurement for the 12 is dollars. And then what else do we have? It says the bus must collect $650 to make it a profit. So this number, what's the unit? It's dollars. And then let's look at the variables. The variable is A. What's the unit of measurement? It's adult tickets or tickets. And then we have C. What's the unit of measurement? It's children's tickets. Boom. Now, so as we go through this word problem, we have basically two types of units. We have tickets and we have money, dollars. All right, so let me move this a little bit because I'm going to need some more space. So I'm going to move that down here and then I'm going to go. So the very first thing, how many tickets do we have? We have a total of 48 tickets. What are those tickets? What types of tickets do we have? We have two types. We have adult tickets and we have children's tickets. The units, that's what we're looking at. So it's telling us A tickets and then C tickets. So there's two types of tickets, adult tickets and children's tickets. Now, how much money are we trying to raise? We're trying to raise $650. Where is the source for that money going to come from? Again, it's going to come from the adult tickets, which are $18, and from the children's tickets, which are $12. Now, you can use this to do almost any type of these Regents word problems. So basically, I have my system of equations. I just have to make one small tweak to the second system. So it says tickets, these are tickets, and these are tickets. I'm putting TIX, stands for tickets. So this is going to be A plus C is equal to 48 tickets. Now the units, again, they have to match. The A are tickets and the C units are tickets. So tickets plus tickets gives me tickets. Tickets, the adult tickets, plus the number of children's tickets equals to 48 tickets that we sold. Now, so that's the first equation. Second equation, it's going to be $650. We know we have to raise $650. So I'm going to say we got to have $650. So that means over here, we need to have dollars. But we just can't write 18 plus 12 because that's not equal to 650. But 18 times the price or the number of adult tickets plus $12 times the number of children's tickets, that's going to give us the amount of money that we're going to raise from selling those tickets, and it has to be $650. So that's how you come up with the equations. All you have to do is add an A and a C here. Boom, done. Those are our equations. That's how they came up with these two inequalities, right? Now, if I go back and I try to make this into an inequality, basically, at most means we can't go over 48 because we only have 48 seats on the bus. So that means this part right here, if I were trying to do it, it has to be less than or equal to 48 because I can't go over 48. And then down here, when it says the least, at least, that means I have to make a minimum of $650. So that means this should be, I'm going to make this red. It should be greater than or equal to. So now, so I've taken those inequalities or those equations and I made them into inequalities. But when you're trying to set these up, treat them like equations. And then go and look at the things that actually make them inequalities, and you got to adjust for those. So the answer for this one would be this, okay? That's the answer. But I wanted to explain how they got the A plus C and the 18A plus 12C, and I hope that's clear. Remember, always find the unit of measurement, and they have to match. So the tickets go together to get the total tickets, and the dollars have to go together to get the total of 650. I hope this is helpful. I'm going to stop this and post it, but the more questions you do, the more you will see that this is basically what you're doing. Find the unit of measurements, find out what things can go together or do go together, and find out how to kind of cobble those things together to get your system of equations, and then you can solve it. All right, I'm going to stop and post.